Hi there. As a pelvic health physiotherapist, I get it. Recovering your core strengths after having a baby can feel, well, pretty confusing. So today, we're going to cut right through all that noise. I'm going to give you a clear, evidence-based guide to understanding and actually treating diastasis recti. Does this sound familiar? I mean, if you've spent any time online, you've probably been just bombarded with advice. Endless lists of do this, don't do that, exercise programs that totally contradict each other, and frankly, a lot of scary stuff. It's a lot. But here's the thing. Not all of that guidance is good advice. A lot of it isn't even backed by real research. So let's get you some actual clarity, shall we? All right, so first things first. What even is diastasis recti? Because once you really understand what's going on, it completely changes what we're aiming for in recovery. Trust me, it's about so much more than what your tummy looks like. It's all about how your core works. Okay, so let's talk anatomy for just a second. Your body is absolutely incredible, right? It's literally designed to stretch and make space for a growing baby. And a key player in that process is the Linea Alba. Think of it as this band of connective tissue running right down the midline of your abs. During pregnancy, it stretches out. Diastasis recti is simply what happens when that tissue gets stretched and, well, it loses a bit of its springiness, its tension. This creates that separation you might feel between the two sides of your six-pack muscles. Okay, this right here is probably the most important thing you'll hear today. For so long, everyone has been obsessed with closing the gap. But here's the secret. The research tells us that's not actually the most important goal. The real goal, the thing that makes all the difference, is restoring tension to that linea alba. Because a core that can create tension is a core that's functional. It supports you, it's strong, and it works the way it's supposed to, even if there's still a bit of a gap. All right, let's get into the fun part. We're going to bust some of the biggest myths you've probably heard. So much of the fear and confusion around this topic comes from these old school ideas, so we're going to tackle them head on with what the science actually says. I'm willing to bet you've heard this one. Maybe you've even been told this one very firmly. It's probably the #1 piece of advice handed out to new moms, and it's always said like it's an absolute, unbreakable law. Yeah, no, it's a total myth. This kind of outdated one-size-fits-all rule just doesn't make sense because it ignores the most important part of your recovery. The secret isn't what exercise you're doing, it's all about how you're doing it. So let's be super clear. There are no forbidden exercises. There's no universal list of bad things to do. A safe and effective recovery is all about you, your ability to manage pressure in your abdomen, to stay in control, and to get your deep core and your pelvic floor working together as a team. It really is about the quality of your movement, not the specific exercise itself. So, you might be thinking, okay, if there are no bad exercises, then what am I supposed to do? And that's a great question. This is exactly where we talk about the most effective, evidence-based path to recovery, and that's a personalized program guided by a pelvic floor physio. And when we say a tailored program, we're not just talking about a few ab exercises. It's a whole-body approach. We'd start with something as fundamental as your breathing. Then we'd work on activating those deep core muscles, look at your posture, maybe even use some hands-on manual therapy. And all of that builds up to a progressive exercise plan that's designed specifically for your body. And here's something really important I want you to know, because it's all about putting you in the driver's seat of your own health. Pelvic physiotherapy is what we call a primary care service. That means you can book an appointment directly. You don't have to wait for a doctor's referral to get started. So why go through all this? What's the payoff? Well, the benefits are huge. We're talking about so much more than just the gap. We're talking about rebuilding a truly strong foundation for your whole body. It means your body moves better, it feels better, you have less pain, and, this is the big one, you get to return to all the activities you love, feeling safe and really confident. Okay, so we've covered a lot. We've talked about what diastasis recti really is, we've busted that huge myth about crunches, and we've laid out what a real evidence-based recovery program looks like. So now, the question is, what's your first step? Specialized women's health clinics are all about this kind of personalized care. It's what we do. For instance, at my clinic, Ova Women's Health, our entire focus is on giving you that expert, compassionate support. We want to create a plan that works for your body, your goals, and helps you get back your strength, your confidence, and just feel good in your body again. You know, taking that first step can feel like the hardest part, but please know you absolutely do not have to figure this all out by yourself. If you're ready to start feeling stronger and more like yourself again, just know that expert help is out there for you. I really hope this has cleared things up and given you a little bit of confidence to take that next step on your recovery journey. Thanks so much for joining me.